Welcome again. This is Grace Force YouTube. I'm Pastor Dan. And the question for today is God a wild card? It's a hard question. I've been wrestling with it for a long time. Is it possible to sort of get a pattern of how God works, and then all of a sudden something doesn't fit? We think we get God figured out, and then there's a wild card. Someone told me this week about a Sherpa, so I went online to check it out. A few weeks ago, this Sherpa is a cook. He's up on Mount Everest. He's in base camp. He's just supposed to be a cook. That's it. Except that someone who was up at the high camp got sick or hurt. They had to bring him down. They needed a guide. All of a sudden, this cook is up, and he's a high altitude guide. Never done it. Never been up there before. And he's helping take people to the top of Mount Everest. Except that there's a storm. I don't remember all the details. He falls into a 25-foot crevasse. He doesn't have any more oxygen. He doesn't have any food. He doesn't have any water. And there's no way to climb out 25 feet of ice. He's going to die. He's down there for 2.5 days with no food and no water. And nobody went to look for him, which is kind of a scandal on its own. And then, of all things, on top of all that, an avalanche falls into his crevasse. But rather than covering him up and suffocating him and killing him, it gave him something that he could then climb out, and he got out. Now, he's beat up. He's got no food or water. He's got no oxygen. He's got some broken bones. So all really he could do was crawl, and he crawled for 6 days. And somebody who was out there looking for trash, picking up these old used oxygen bottles and all the rest, they see him, they rescue him, he's alive, the helicopter takes him down out of there, and he's going to make it. And I ask you, did God do that? Let's just say he's Buddhist and maybe doesn't even believe in God. I don't know. Either way, did God do that? Did God send an avalanche to let a man climb out of a 25-foot crevasse? Was God the one who gave him the energy to climb out? Was God the one who gave him the energy to crawl for 6 days, not giving up? Or is this all just blind luck and resilience and grit and fortitude? If God does it once, why doesn't he do it every single time? I read another story this week. 2 girls were driving east of Portland, Oregon, along the Columbia River. They call it the Columbia Gorge. Been there many times. And they say that while they were driving, all of a sudden, there were 2 red cars coming at them, 70 miles an hour, no way to get out of their way. They're not stopping. There was no time to pray, time to do anything except just in their mind and heart, please God. They were sure they were going to die. They were just freezing, hoping that it would die quick. Except somehow, the car that was right in front of them flew right over them and landed behind them. They looked back, and the car with a white stripe was behind them, landing on the highway. They couldn't get over it. They got to a rest area. They pulled off. 2 black trucks pulled in there. A bunch of high school kids came running out of those 2 trucks, came running over to them and said, "Did you see the big white hand?" What big white hand? The big white hand that lifted that car right over you and then landed behind you. Big white hand. One of the kids said, "My father's a pastor. I think that was a miracle by God." Someone says, "Someone have a Bible?" The girl had a Bible in the car, went and got a Bible, and they had a little Bible study right there, and they said they'd all better go to church next week. My friend Dwight Nelson used to pastor Andrews University Church, Pioneer. He and I, as 2 young pastors, were on that road 50 years ago on our way to go to Walla Walla for a class. I was driving, and I looked to me around the corner on the freeway, around that divider there, that car was on the wrong side of that divider. It wasn't easy to see. I thought, maybe I better just get over. Sure enough, a couple seconds later, shoom, this car went right by on our side of the freeway going the wrong way. Two young pastors' careers would have been over at 26, 27 years old. I saw it just in time. Did God help me? I believed all my life that God helped me see that car in time. I wasn't looking down. I wasn't on my phone or anything else. I saw it. God do that? But you may ask, what about all the other accidents? I got hit last year. A bunch of cars, one reacted to the other. The FedEx truck reacted. That FedEx truck didn't fly over me. He banged right into me. I was over as far as I could go. No truck flew over me. The man in the truck that hit my father didn't fly over him. Why can there be accident 10,000 times in a row? Nobody flies over anybody. And then all of a sudden there's something that just, it's a wild card. If we have a wild card once, why doesn't God do the wild card all the time? I don't have all the answers for that. There are things that don't fit. They're anomalies. Is God a wild card? As soon as you begin to think, you see a pattern. I think I have a pattern. I don't know anybody that has walked away and gotten well from being a paraplegic, quadriplegic, no one with liver cancer. But people pray and get some money in the mail. Thousands of those stories. People who have no God, miserable people, find Jesus and become awesome people. Millions of those stories, but not too many quadriplegic stories. God works in their soul. God works spiritually. You get a pattern. And then all of a sudden, something doesn't fit the pattern. We can't put God in the box and get it all tied up. It doesn't mean that if we just prayed harder or had more faith or were better people, cars would stop flying over us all the time instead of hitting us. I can't tell you that. And God is letting an awful lot of natural things happen in our world. Someday, we'll ask Him about the car flying over. And when our mother got healed and all the other stories that can make no sense. The God who once in a while is a wild card. If you can figure it out, you let me know. We'll keep studying until we get it better. In the meantime, thank you, God, for the man who climbed out an avalanche out of a crevasse on Mount Everest, and the two girls who had a car fly over them, and two young pastors who got to live their career because God protected us that day. This is Grace Force YouTube. Thanks for being with us. God bless. So we'd love it if you enjoy what we have made, if you can like it and forward it on to other people, and we'll build a ministry on social media. Grace Force YouTube. God bless.